Go? All right. Morning, everybody. I'd like to welcome you to the Tri-Lakes Management District meeting for Wednesday, October 15th at 2025, 9 a.m. Number 2, please stand for Pledge of Allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Number 3, roll call starting from my left.
Adkins here.
Hasdall here.
Baker.
Samuel still here.
Thank you. Number 4, certified posting of the meeting agenda.
The agenda was, the agenda was posted on Monday, October 13th, Town Hall, 3:55 p.m., Nakusa Port Edward State Bank, 406, and Quick Trip, 3:59.
Thank you. Number 5, can I get a motion to approve the agenda?
So moved. Baker.
Adkins second.
Discussion? All those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carried. Number 6, electric comments. Anything turned in? Pass on 6. No action contemplated except possible referral to future agenda. Number 6, information updates, meeting recaps, current events, and announcements. Craig, first. Anything?
We down already?
Well, this isn't Harvester, but it's anything else?
No.
Okay.
We'll get to the harvester part.
Red?
Only thing I have is January 17th, the Lake Sherwood Ice Fishery is scheduled to take place.
Yeah, good. Mike?
We had a county board meeting last night, and it proposed mill rate for the county is going to go down 73 cents. And I think it's somewhere in the area of $3.88 per thousand, I think now. But it's going to be going down, which is a positive thing.
Neat. Mark?
Nothing.
I had one, we had a VIP ride over at Derek Hughes on Friday. We had a nice, long discussion with Karen. I'm not sure I'm going to screw her name up here, Hewen. She's a secretary for the Midwest, Wisconsin. She took over basically for Dan Bauman. What was kind of disappointing was she knew nothing about nanobubbles. She's been on the job for 9 months. So what we've been doing hasn't trickled up, which is, again, disappointing. I just can't believe that. I did talk to her about that. I talked to her about the solar farm issues, and she seemed very concerned. So I am going to send her a nice, long, drawn-out letter with backup and all the stuff we've collected over the last couple of months. We'll see what happens, but she sounds like a very informative person, but I'm surprised they're not cluing her in on what's going on. I told her, you got 2,000 impaired lakes that they designated impaired, and the budget is terrible for it. I said, you're going to need money down the road, and she kind of eyes opened up when mentioned that. We're talking billions to fix all the lakes, so we'll see. Let's see what else. Number 8, discussion on compliance letter from the WIDNR. We did get a notice of non-compliance from Scott Provost. Immediately called Jay, said, what's going on? Basically, it came from somebody higher up. I'm not going to go into personal details, but it's all minor stuff. Jay and Scott's working it out. I also sent it on to Jared, so he's aware of it, our attorney. But Jay's going to handle it, and it shouldn't be anything to worry about at this point. Again, it's all minor, saying we didn't get reports turned in on time or something, but that's between Jay and University of Wisconsin-Stevens Point. They're the ones doing the testing. So I did mention to him, I said, well, they're worried about a day or two here, and yet they didn't flinch when they wanted us to turn our test results into Madison and wait for 2 years to get results back. But that's the DNR for you.
Don't they realize it takes time to get the testing data back? It's not going to happen overnight.
We're dealing with a DNR.
I know we are.
Yeah. Anyway, that's being handled. Want to make sure everybody's updated on it. 9, bubbler update. Mark, you got anything? Want to cover anything on that? Other than we're shut down?
Shutdown was on September 30th. Everything was winterized with antifreeze and cleaning the injectors, diffusers as of 10/6. And the only thing we have left to do for the winter is remove the docks.
Okay.
we believe that each stock is worth about $5,000. Rather than taking a chance of ice damage, if it's so pleases the board, we'd like to remove the valve.
Yep. Yeah, the other thing, the DNR, our permit on it worked until September 30th, so we had to shut down on the 30th. All the final billings went out for the meter readings. That's all cleared. And we did get the survey done from Lampert Lee. We got our paperwork in on time to the county for a variance. Again, I have the okay from LCPOA to put the units there in the parking lot on 8th Avenue. We still got to get our letters out to the other ones. I want to make sure we had all this stuff done before we sent letters out to the folks on Salisbury to see if they'd give an approval. We know that's going to be a rough one. But the survey got done, and we're asking for an 8-foot setback relief from the center of the road, so we can put these units back to back rather than tandem. Put them on tandem is going to take up all sorts of space. So, and that's our only option really at that area is to go back to back. So,
The permits we got from the DNR for the bubblers,
yeah.
were we ever told that there was they were good from such and such date to such and such?
Apparently it was in there in the writing somewhere, but I didn't read through the whole thing. I figured our engineers know to take care of that. But he told us on the front side that, well, 2 weeks ago, about 2 weeks ago, that they had to be shut off on the 30th. So, didn't know that going way back, but we were hoping to run them through October.
That's what
Yeah.
I thought we were going to do.
Yeah, so
Until
yeah.
we had to shut down on the last day of September.
Yeah, why they pick a date, who knows?
Yeah.
I don't know. Again, DNR.
Well, does another permit have to be obtained then, or additional permits to have to be obtained to start up in spring?
I think we'll have to reapply at least for the 109. I don't know about the 30. And the 30 we don't use, but who knows? He'll probably apply for it anyway. But I'll be talking to Jay on that. I did bug him the other day where he's at, and he said he's working with Scott to get the whole thing settled.
Is there any update on getting the data analysis from how these are performing and, looking at the baseline compared to where we were when we shut down and things of that nature?
Yeah, UWSP has all that. They're still doing some testing, I guess, through the end of October.
I saw them out yesterday, actually.
Yep.
On Sherwood.
Yeah, they're doing every other week now. Instead, as long as the units aren't running, they're doing it every other week, so that'll cut our costs down. But I think they're running through the end of October for residuals. The preliminary data is all positive in our favor, as expected. We didn't kill anything. The phytoplankton and the other little creatures are doing just fine. The water clarity is better. Everything's positive from that point of view, but they are working on some analysis to get rolling on it. Again, some of it's limited because it's staggered throughout the summer, getting the units in there. So it's coming.
I just have a question. Next steps. This moving or talk about moving the large bubbler to the parking lot. Is that going to be up against the tree line, or is it going to be in the center of the parking lot? Or are we going to put it in the center parking lot and make a whole new parking lot on the other side? The reason I'm asking that because I was down there where my bow tie's up, and I see all the little flags stuck in the parking lot, so it must have been surveyed. Not only other people that put their boat in, but we use that whole parking lot to turn our truck around at the back end. Is that going to cause a problem? Is it going to be in the way?
I think you'll be able to go behind it still, as long as you don't run over the water
Yeah.
unit there. There's going to be room behind it to pull around. I'd like to go back 15 feet, but Jared thought that would be pushing it. So 8 foot will give us enough to go back to back. The first unit's going to be right in the center of the parking lot, and the other one's going to be right behind it. So there will be space to go around the units.
So
If we go, if
ductile tubes are from that unit.
the tubes are going to go under the ground.
Oh, they're going to go into the ground, so you'll still be able to drive.
Yeah.
Hold it. Okay.
Yeah.
That might.
Yeah, we already talked.
Just concerned. How are we going to turn our big truck around? To
Yeah.
back into the
We should have the hopefully an approval back early November. We had to get it back in by the end of September to get November. I've already talked to the pipe folks, Lincoln. He said no problem about burying. He'll handle that part of it. So,
All right.
and
Are we going to ever make it, DNR, make a decision on the use of the ozone so we can get that fired up.
Well, that's one of the things I'm going to send to Karen. You know, just she's got a PhD in something, so hopefully she'll be a little more familiar with it than the folks that we're dealing with. Again, we got approval from DATCAP on it, but the DNR didn't want to listen to their own people, but that's not unusual. She did ask about coordination between states, and I said there's none.
No, our DNR won't talk to anybody else.
Well, they have been talking to Minnesota and bad-mouthing us, apparently, in Minnesota. So Minnesota's got Minnesota's having a little rough time with the OR right now, too, and Moyer. Yeah, somebody said something. I don't know who, but that's what's coming down to the grapevine. Whatever. Yeah, it's amazing that there's a solution staring them in the face, and they're being obstinate about it. I got to be careful what I say because I've already gotten myself in trouble with those folks, but bureaucrats. The other thing is I did talk to Inland about putting these units on barges. Moyer said it'd be about $250,000 for a barge. I talked to Inland about making barges for us because they can do that with just the units, and they would be mounted. But he said about $80,000 each. And I go, oof. So that'd be for the 2 units, be $160,000. I just don't know if that makes sense. The nice thing about that is it has nothing to do with the county, the town. Nobody said anything. It's just strictly DNR. And again, people might complain about it, but you're talking pontoon boats basically. So we'll see. It's an option for us down the road because if we don't get permission on 8th Street to go back to back, I'm not sure that makes a logical move to that location. We might just put those darn things down in Arrowhead. Arrowhead, we got 100 foot all the way around the lake, so we'll see. We'll know more in the next meeting, actually. I'll let you know as soon as I find out from the folks what the thing is. Dustin thought it was a reasonable request, though, but he doesn't make the decision. He's been trying to work with us.
Oh, I know.
Yeah. All right, we got that. Anything else on the nanobubblers? Again, preliminary numbers are good on it. From what they've told us, everything's happening the way we thought it would be. He said, as expected. That's per Jay. So, okay, 14 Mile Watershed Alliance, Dave.
Water and Soil Health Conference is coming up in December. That's a good program put on every year.
Hey, Dave, you want to do the microphone? Oh, wait, never mind. We don't.
Catch.
Thank you. So the Wisconsin Water and Soil Health Conference coming up in December. That's in Wisconsin Dells. That's put on every year by UW Extension through their Discovery Farms program, and it focuses largely this year on nitrogen reduction. So we've got a couple people going, and it might be something you want to look at that program and see if there's interest in attendance. On the Walden project we've been working on, we got a concrete slab poured last week, and that's kind of wraps that up for the where the base for the interpretive sign will go. So that's kind of the last part of that project. That grant expires in December, so then I'll be working with Cody with the town to get the reimbursement on that grant. We've got about $38,000 in DNR funding that we're anticipating getting reimbursed on that project. We've got 2 biochar grants that we're waiting to hear on sometime soon. Both of those are for what we'll call the Socks for Docks program, where we're putting biochar in the lakes and gathering test results, and depending on what we get for those grants, that'll determine how expansive the pilot project's going to be next year, and then that would be something, if we can show some results, we'll go after some EPA funds to expand that quite a bit through our lakes. We've also got a DATCAT grant that we're looking to find out about in the coming weeks too, and that's for the producer-led group Farmers of 14 Mile Creek. I've got about 10 Healthy Lakes projects that are going to be funded in the coming year. The application is due in November, so I'll be wrapping that up. Like I said, there are 10, but we can be doing up around 25 or so. You got a $25,000 limit, so there's more expansion we could be looking at for that if we can drum up even more interest.
Can you give me some more information on that? I'll take it up at the LCPOA meeting on Saturday. Let them know about it. I don't know. Gene, have you seen much on that with LCPOA? I haven't really know much down there. I'll bring something in there. Yeah.
Dave, when is that water and soil conference in the Dells? Do you have the dates?
I believe it's like the 17th and 18th, or 16th and 17th.
January?
Of December. Scott will tell us here.
It was another note too when I was talking to Karen from DNR.
It's a 2-day conference.
Karen was totally unaware of the biochar program as well. She was interested in it, so we'll see.
Good.
16, 17,
Thank you.
Tuesday, Wednesday.
There was some talk about next year with barley stuff and using the biochar instead of the bales we have out at the office. Did we go through all of them?
We got about 50 left.
50?
About 50. We had ordered 600. We had about 50 left, so if we go again with the order, I'm sorry, Craig.
Yep, 550.
We'll go with 550 instead this coming year.
They just sat there and started molding.
So we ended up opening up the bags and then taking the barley straw to the transfer site.
My thought was because of the nano projects going on, maybe some people think they don't need to do it. That normally did it every year.
Biochar, I'm still waiting for some more costs back in that. Right now, I think it's $18 a bag plus delivery, and trying to get larger quantities in there, so get delivery charge on. That's part of the killer because of the weight. So Pat Rogers was looking for another location to source it from with the proper materials, though. So we did vote a while back about working forward on that project, depending on the cost. So
'Cause I know one time in the past we talked about using the biochar bags instead of the barley.
yeah, we submitted a bunch of samples last month, so I haven't seen results on those. I gave Pat some samples from the bags I have, and she took some from the other ones, so we're going to do an analysis on those because they've been over a year now in the water, so I'm going to see what kind of work they did.
Where does she take those? Madison?
I'm not sure where she took them.
Biochar?
Yeah,
No, it's an egg source, I think, in Ponder Well.
yeah.
She's testing it. Have you ever tested barley bags? Is there any data?
I don't think the barley bags absorb. I think they give off something. There was a study by the University of Pennsylvania, and they did explain how the whole process works. It takes 6 weeks for them to be basically to get going on it, but they're supposed to give off something that helps reduce it, yeah, rather than collecting it.
Okay, thank you.
Anything else? Okay, thanks, Dave. Number 11, Harster update. Should be a final, right?
Yeah, it's the final for the year. On that barley bag, what you're talking about, yeah, we got it at the same time as we've always got it put out at the same time. It gets notified to everybody at the same time. And there was a rush, and then it completely died off. And by midsummer, we had 50 plus or minus bags sitting there molding. And nobody bothered to come and get it. So we just ordered 550 this year, dropped it to 50 bags to see what happens, and we'll start the process over again. But it'd be interesting if we would have, if that biochar, whatever you call it, your bags, if that would be an option, so to speak. The other, I didn't bring out my paperwork here, but we had close to plus minus 1.6 million gallons of weeds for this year, which is quite a bit of weeds. Over 700 loads every day, so that's really pumping the pavement and picking up weeds. So for those of you and the folks out there did our best. But when you look at the figures, that's a lot of weeds coming out of the leaks, all these leaks. That's a lot of work. From 7 o'clock till 2:30, 2:45, the guys are out there picking up weeds. And on that note, what I wanted is just, what I wanted to come here is just to thank the board for all your support for this past year and the years past. We really appreciate that. Just letting myself and the staff just go for it. And, yeah, we got the budget, but keeping the parts and keeping these machines running, because it's very, very expensive piece of equipment to keep running. And it will be after January 1, which is the new budget. There's some parts that I need to get, but the lead time is 8-12 weeks out, so I want to get that so we have those things come springtime. So again, thank you very much, and the two gentlemen here that are on the staff, appreciate all the support.
Yes.
Mike and Brad.
I'm sorry?
How many harvesters?
We have 7 harvesters.
7.
Yeah, just if you don't know, it's one on Arrowhead, 1 at Sherwood, and 3 on the Arrowheads.
Oh.
1 on the upper.
No,
2
not Arrowhead.
Excuse me, on the Camelots, 1 on the upper Camelot, the northern side, 2 in the lower, and then we have a machine that runs the channel. And we also use that machine to do Lake Wolven twice a year. With 2 guys per machine, it's 14 guys every day. So, yeah. So again, thank you very much. And my report for the 2025 season.
See you
Thanks,
next
Craig.
year, Craig.
Have a good winter.
What?
All right, number 12, district update.
Nothing for me.
I do have one. I had hosted some folks here from Madison 2 weeks ago. I think they're looking at the operation in total, and their jaw dropped when I told them 1.5 million pounds there, whatever. But they're really interested in the nanobubble project, so we showed them around. Basically took them to the big machine. They took all sorts of questions. The nice thing is, though, they're down in the Madison area, and we get somebody down there on our side that's going to help a lot, I think, with the state. So they were very appreciative of what we're doing here and leading the charge. But gave them a lot of information and anything they needed. So that was a good one. We also had somebody else from Minnesota here too. We covered some folks with those information with them too. So spreading the word doesn't hurt. Number 13, county DNR 9-key element update.
We asked the county for another $1,000 for dam operations, and I was told by Cynthia that it wasn't is in the budget for next year. The county board will be voting on November 11th, so it'll be another $1,000 to the. Is that $10,000?
It'll total be $11,000
Yeah.
with the extra money. As far as the county goes, did the dam get repaired at Camelot?
The dam is repaired and operating normally. The repair took 1.5 hours to 2 hours. It was very fast. They came early. No adjustments had to be made as far as the lake levels in order to replace the whole dam actuator, and it seems to be working very well right now. So I do have a concern, and I thought I had forwarded you a letter that Alex had sent to Land and Water on items that we're finding on the dams as far as that need to be taken care of, such as sinkhole issues, trees growing on the dam, things of that nature. As of today, nothing has been addressed whatsoever. I got an email from the owner of the Lakes Inn over on Sherwood, the motel over there. There's a significant sinkhole that keeps occurring. It's actually 3, I want to say 3 sinkholes, and one of them's getting rather deep and cavernous. I pointed her to Land and Water, gave her Colton's contact info. I asked her at our Lake Sherwood meeting She says that they did speak, and he said something about, it'll be looked at and taken care of, but nothing's been done at all. So we've got some issues that they need to address, and we should do that sometime in the upcoming future.
I think we got a reply from Colton on
We did.
that. Working with the DNR and the county, they had prioritized the items that was on that list. Craig?
Okay.
He did respond to Alex's email.
And I
You didn't get it?
I think I did get that, but what I'm saying is the things that need to be done are certainly within the county's purview, and it's using materials they already have. I mean, we're talking about, laying a little bit of gravel, for instance, on the Camelot Dam, where you're going down there, you can see significant sinkholes. and
Have you
stuff.
talked with Colton at all?
Yeah, a number of times, and, I'm not throwing it all on Colton's shoulders, because I know that he's probably talked with, the utility people and stuff, I think, who would take care of, putting a gravel base down or something like that. It's just that it's just getting worse and worse. On Sherwood, we've got significant tree growth on the side of the dam, and that's a definite thing you don't want to have. The sinkhole issue over at the motel has been going on for a year and a half at least. Something needs to be done with this stuff instead of just kicking the can or saying it's, number 23 on a priority list and just leaving it sit.
I don't remember anything on the sinkhole, but I do remember they responded about the trees and the brush
Yeah.
on the dam, so. We'll
I can
check that.
resend.
Yeah.
Resend the letter and stuff, but, and I mean, we record things on the spreadsheet. You all know about the spreadsheet. We record any changes, adjustments that we make to the lake levels, and note anything in the comments that, need to be looked at and addressed, and I don't know that anybody's even looking at that over there, so. My 2 cents worth.
Has Colton said anything about the sinkholes when you brought it up, Brad?
Well, we're out there when we were looking at the issue with the Camelot Dam, and I mean, we both walked down. Yep, I said, in talking with Kiefer, a year or two ago, it's, you guys got gravel with your street department and all that other stuff. It's just going to be, lay a little gravel base on there, so it doesn't just keep sinking in spots and things like that. I mean, he walked it and he saw it, but it just needs to be brought up again, is what I'm saying, and hopefully addressed.
Anything else for 13? Number 14, town update. I'd like to introduce Karen. Karen is our new town administrator and started a week ago last Monday. Welcome aboard. And we also have Emily has also started 3 weeks ago in zoning, so we now have a full-time zoning manager back in. Emily was with us in prior history, and she's already doing a nice job. So, and welcome aboard. So,
thank you.
The other thing is we had a meeting yesterday with Ellers, and they covered the TIF, and the TIF will be paid off now in 2028 instead of 2029. It's a huge influx coming into the town when that affects our taxes in 2029. So that'll be a good thing. And then just another update that the town board did suggest to the Parks and Recreation to look at a homegrown national park up at Walden for the baseball diamond, since it doesn't get used. There were some good suggestions from some of the residents in the area. I also made a recommendation to look at a campsite over by Derek-Hughes. So we did have that right at Derek-Hughes on Friday. Karen was there. A few other folks came. Some didn't didn't go, but it was an eye-opener for a lot of places. But again, Karen from DNR was there, and she was quite impressed with the whole operation, how that is handled out there. Plus, she didn't know much about the town at all. So I had Lisa at Visit Rome send her all of our booklets, because she was unaware of Sand Valley. She was unaware of the trap shooters, unaware of really Derek Hughes in the beginning, the ski jump and all the other things we have to offer here. And I did hit her up on the, again, with the lakes on the nanobubble, and I hit her up on the solar farm. So I got more conversations with her coming up.
I was also unaware of all of that and went out, took a tour through Sand Valley, and I took a tour with Lisa over at Visit Rome. I didn't have an opportunity to get inside Derek Hughes, but I was over there on Friday. I was just so impressed, I can't even tell you. And what a hidden secret. I mean, it's a big secret. It's gotta get out.
Any further discussion or update on the wake boat?
It's coming up. I mean, I did post on the packet was the last one or one before, some more information. Most of it was the studies from 2022. I've got more coming now from 2025 and 2024. The Lake Beulah study is pretty damaging. The one we put out there from Michigan is quite telling. They went a little overboard, I think, on some of the distances, but in any case, we're looking at 500 foot from shore rather than 200, first of all. And nobody was bringing up the 20-foot scouring from the bottom, and it's going to get worse with some of the boats coming up now. There was one we saw was recommended 30-foot deep, which we don't even have in our lake. So that will be coming more and more. We do expect to have something moving by the spring. So.
There's a, I don't know if you guys are aware, on, I believe it's October 31st at 1 o'clock, setting up a meeting in here. I got an invitation to attend. I think it's a Wisconsin Town Association meeting. One of the topics of discussion is those wake boats, I think from a legal perspective. And so I'm setting up a meeting in here for me and Emily to watch. We invited last night, Planning Commission had some interest or discussion about it, told them, and we're gonna have it set up in here. So welcome to come and
WTA?
see. I think it was through WTA. I have the information, so I will email
Okay.
it to you. And Regina, I can send it to you as well, just so that if you are interested and you wanna come and see what they're saying about it, you're more than welcome to come in and sit. We're gonna have it up on the big screen.
Okay.
So, just to see what are they saying and what, you know, the dance and, I'm not even sure, but they may have to look at the, information. They may have a DNR in to talk about that. I don't know who's actually speaking on it, but that is one of the topics. So,
Yeah, one other
get
thing,
the information to Regina, and she can dispense it to you.
yeah. One other thing about the town too is about the solar update. I've been on a conversation with Jensen Ecology. Finally got a hold of these folks. I was looking at all different companies and finally got the right one. He's down in Madison. They do a lot of work with endangered species, and talking to the folks at WTA at the Derek Hughes, they thought that was had some legs to go with it. They hadn't seen anybody propose that one on the endangered species stuff. They also weren't totally aware of what was going on in Morgan. They had their facts weren't right. And then the other one was the MFL things. And then I started thinking more and more about the wellhead protection zone. And when you start looking at the ability, what I started thinking about it was, and this kind of involves us, but when you start looking towards the future where we may have to put additional wells, and that if we put a well somewhere, it's going to put a crimp on the solar farm. Because, again, the well protection zone should go out to about a half-mile radius. And that could be a serious, especially if we go to like to Walden. You go to Walden, that's right across the street from where they plan on going. So that would put some serious dents in their plans. So again, I got a call out to our attorney. I've sent him a bunch of information yesterday, so waiting to hear back from him. And I can sit on another powwow with him and start pursuing some of the stuff. We also got that letter. Everybody got it here, I think, or should have, about the where they don't believe they have to do what's called an EIS, environmental impact study. And I've filed a complaint already with the U.S. Fish and Wildlife stating that it's or EPA. I filed a complaint with EPA that I think they're in violation by not doing it because they haven't done it for any of the 30 structures. The closest they came was the Prairie Chicken one in Grant. Other than that, they've done nothing. So I also have Jay from EOR looking into that, as well as Jensen Ecology. So we're going to start putting some pressure on them. So that's the town update. Number 15, discussion of possible action, approve minutes from Wednesday, September 17th, 2025.
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes from September 17, 2025 as presented.
Second.
Discussion?
I found one typo today at the one of the last lines on there. I transposed Brad Atkins' last name, 2 letters.
Oh.
I've corrected it.
All right. Thank you. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried. 16, discussion of possible action, approve vouchers and financials.
Move to approve the vouchers and financials.
I'll second that.
And discussion? You will notice you got a lot more information coming in. This is due to using Sage now. All our financial activities will be assigned to different code numbers. It's keeping Gina busy, but it also gives us much more reliable information. We're still working on Sage to get it up to date for our purposes. I cannot get a good balance sheet study out of there yet. And we also have to get our accountant, Nicole, onto the system here. Gina, I did have one question, though. There's, this is on page 1. We have an invoice, 102,426 and 421, same amounts for BDT. Is that a duplicate or duplicate invoice, or?
Without being,
Yeah,
they're
check
the
it
ones
out.
who make the cabinets for the nano bubblers. So, it wouldn't surprise me that there were 2 amounts that are the same.
Okay, they're different invoice numbers, but I just want to make sure it wasn't a double entry or something.
Okay, what, can you hold up what page you're looking at?
Page 1. You can have it.
A cash disbursement, okay.
Yeah.
I just wanted to know
All
what
right.
report you're looking at.
And again, you see, there's a general ledger trial balance. Now you're going to be getting this copy, and it gives you pretty much where all the funds are going, where they're coming from, and where they're going out to. So it's getting a lot more definitive of what our operations are. And again, we're doing this as much as possible because if we look at a bond down the road, we want to make sure all the I's are dotted and T's are crossed, and that's why we have Nicole. She's pretty sharp. So, any other questions on that? Any other thoughts? Again, we're going to come in under budget as expected. Our cash is going to be better than we thought at the end of the year, so everything's okay at the moment. I always say at the moment, you never know. Any other questions? All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried. Discussion of possible action, advertise for candidates to fill Lake Arrowhead position on board again. It's been so many months. We're going to open it up to, I talked to the attorney already, we can open it up as long as there's no candidates from Arrowhead. You don't even have to accept them at this point. But again, I'm going to talk to the LCPOA on Saturday and see if they've got anybody. Feel free at Sherwood if somebody else wants to go over again, if we can get somebody from Arrowhead to join us. I mean, we need somebody up here. What we want to do, Mark right now is representing Arrowhead, but I'd like to put him on the board. I don't want to put another board member on here because then we got a quorum here, we got a quorum there, and you got influence on the board, and that's just not right. I think we need more people from the community out there for the decision.
How has it been advertised to the Lake Arrowhead folks?
I'm pretty sure, well, go ahead.
I brought it up to the general manager way back when, Brad. I've talked, probably 3 or 4 months when they have their board meetings. I brought it up. They know about it. They're talking about it. I have never worked.
I wonder if they could, the association could send out, like what we do on Sherwood, an email blast to all of the
Members.
Lake Arrowhead folks and say, hey, we need somebody to step up type of thing.
I talked to the general manager and Jill Kavanaugh.
And I do put information in their Arrowhead lines, and I have put information in there about looking for people, so it's not new, but I think I put it also now, I'll be putting it in Sherwood and Camelot too, but I have put it in the Arrowhead papers, so it's out there, just can't get anybody. We need somebody. We need a 5th person here, so if you can find somebody, appreciate it. We don't need discussion, anything on there, no action.
What?
You live on Arrowhead. Sorry.
Don't look at me.
We just assign things here nowadays. So, yeah. Anyway, all right. Dates and items for future agenda and meetings. We'll take Harvester off for the next one. So
Sure.
Hopefully we should have more some analysis done then on the nano bubbles. So I'll be pressing Jay and UWSP. Yes, Mark.
For next month, is it possible we could put something on the agenda that the board would address trying to create a campaign on all 3 lakes for owners to care for the lakes.
Oh, good point. Yep,
Break the lake,
yep.
clean the lake, do their part. We know that the harvesters are doing 1.5 million pounds a year. We know the bubblers are doing 24/7, doing their part. But we've seen so many floating weeds. Some people blame it on the harvesters, others on boats. But if they don't clean them up, they settle to the bottom and they add to the problem.
Good point. We'll put it on there, trying to come up with a way to get the message out there. We got the email alert, that's one from our end, that's one way, but see what else we got out there.
If you get the lake associations
Yeah,
involved,
yeah.
get volunteers, I guess.
Okay, we'll add that in.
Thank you.
Number 19, next meeting date and time.
Wednesday, November 19th, 9 a.m.
Okay, you get a motion for adjournment?
So moved.
Adkins, second.
Discussion? All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried, we're adjourned.